Hey, what is up? So in this video, I wanted to take a look at the meeting between Saul Goodman and Lalo Salamanca that happened in Season 5 of Better Call Saul. And specifically, I wanted to take a look at a very interesting plot detail that occurred in the episode entitled JMM. Alright, so getting right into this one, in Season 5 of Better Call Saul, in the aforementioned episode, following Lalo's court arraignment hearing for the murder of Fred Whalen, we see Lalo and Saul in lockup discussing the details of the case. And interestingly, at the start of the scene, we see Lalo take a look at Saul Goodman's briefcase and ask Saul about the JMM initials that are on his briefcase.
JMM. What's that?
Oh, that's my motto.
Yeah?
Justice matters most.
Okay, so we know from the plot of Better Call Saul that this briefcase was gifted to Jimmy McGill from Kim Wexler following his reinstatement as a lawyer at the end of Season 4. But of course, unbeknownst to Kim at the time, when she had this briefcase made, Jimmy had then decided to practice the law under the name Saul Goodman instead of his legal name, James Morgan McGill, which is what the initials on Jimmy's briefcase stand for, of course. Now, with this backstory being stated, I think the reason for this scene appearing in this episode is to present to the audience that Lalo does not know Saul Goodman's real name at this point in time, and also to display to us that Jimmy certainly did not want to tell Lalo his real name either for obvious reasons, which is why he lied to Lalo and stated that these initials stood for his motto, "Justice Matters Most." But interestingly, despite this, in my opinion, the backstory of how these two characters met initially kind of seems to throw a slight wrinkle into Lalo's ignorance here in this scene. Because just to set the scene of the full backstory behind these two characters meeting in the plot of Season 5 of Better Call Saul for the first time, following the arrest of Domingo, i.e. Crazy 8, in the episode entitled 50% Off, Lalo asked Nacho if Crazy 8 has ever been inside before.
Your friend, Crazy 8?
Yeah, Domingo. I know him a long time.
How?
My family knows his family.
And then following Nacho actually seeming to go as far as to offer to kill Domingo as a sign of loyalty to Lalo as part of his plot with Gus Fring.
Has he ever been inside before?
No. You want me to take care of it?
Lalo then dismisses this notion and states that he has something better for Crazy 8.
Nah. I got something much better for him.
Thus setting in motion the plot of Saul meeting Lalo in the next episode of Better Call Saul entitled The Guy for This.
You're the guy for this.
And as part of this plot that ensues in this episode, it can be inferred that due to the fact that Lalo wanted to use Domingo to rat out Gus Fring's men to the police in order to undermine Gus Fring's position in the cartel at the will of his uncle Hector, it is extremely likely that Lalo asked Nacho if he knew any lawyers that could be used in order to enact this plan. And due to the fact that Nacho knew Saul from Season 1 of Better Call Saul, it was certainly the case that Nacho told Lalo he had a lawyer in mind that would be perfect for what they were planning to do. But what actually makes this plot even more peculiar in my opinion is that Nacho actually initially knew and met Saul Goodman as James Morgan McGill, a lawyer you could trust, as part of the plots all the way back in Season 1 of Better Call Saul in the episode entitled Mijo, involving the storyline surrounding Jimmy, the skateboarders, the Kettlemans, and none other than Tuco Salamanca.
The next words out of your mouth ought to be the truth. You understand? Who are you?
I'm James Morgan McGill. I'm a lawyer. I was trolling for business.
Okay, that's the truth. Now, you find a Bible, I'll swear.
Okay, what about Operation Kingbreaker,
I made
FBI?
it up, okay? I'm sorry. I don't know you.
So it appears that despite the fact that it's completely confirmed that Nacho knew Jimmy as James Morgan McGill, it appears that Nacho never actually told Lalo the name of the lawyer he was going to pick up at the end of the episode entitled 50% Off. Because at this point in time, Nacho had no way of knowing that Jimmy McGill changed the name he would legally practice the law under to Saul Goodman.
James M. McGill, a lawyer you can trust. I know how to find you, James McGill. Understand what I'm saying?
As these two characters had not interacted since all the way back in season 1 of Better Call Saul, so I would imagine that if he told Lalo the name of this lawyer, he would have told Lalo his name was James Morgan McGill, and then of course Lalo would have then known what these initials on Saul Goodman's briefcase stood for. So yeah, with all of that being stated, I find it kind of hard to believe that Lalo would not know Saul Goodman's real name at this point in time, based on the fact that the person who was the link to these two characters meeting on screen for the first time knew his real legal name as James Morgan McGill and did not know him as Saul Goodman when he picked him up in season 5 of Better Call Saul in the episode entitled 50% Off.
Mr. Varga, long time no see.
Get in.
Your timing isn't perfect. I'm a little swamped right now. We're just going for a ride.
And while this is really not a major plot hole in my opinion, I kind of feel like it falls on the plot hole spectrum, if you will, based on all of the aforementioned plot details surrounding how Nacho introduced Saul to Lalo in season 5 of Better Call Saul. But at the same time, while this oversight has not yet been explained to us by the creators as of the conclusion of season 5 of Better Call Saul, I suppose one could take a fair bit of artistic license to explain this scene away. For example, one could surmise that due to the fact that Nacho had not seen Jimmy for right around 2 calendar years in the timeline of Better Call Saul from the last time that these two characters met in season 1 in the episode entitled Hero, and when they met again in season 5 in the episode entitled 50% Off, I suppose it is thus theoretically possible that Nacho did not remember Jimmy's real name, and that is why he did not tell Lalo, or something to that effect. I mean, I guess I have met people and then not seen them for many years and then forgot their names after it was told to me before as well, so I guess it's not totally out of the realm of possibility. But at the end of the day, we're just speculating, of course. So yeah, now with all of that being displayed, I'm pretty sure that at the end of the day, the point of this scene between Lalo and Saul asking about these initials JMM definitely appears to have been to display to the audience the fact that Lalo does not know Saul Goodman's real name. But like I said, based on the backstory of Better Call Saul, I think this scene might be somewhat of a plot hole when all is said and done. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and maybe the creators will address this plot detail at some point in time before the conclusion of the series. Alright, that's all I really got for you guys for this video. I would love to hear what you guys think about this one surrounding Lalo not knowing Saul Goodman's real name. So if you have any thoughts on it, make sure to leave a comment on this video. As always, my name is Anton Jackson. Thank you so much for watching this video.